How has the system treated you through all this?
Look, I found the system to be weighted fairly heavily towards protecting, well, the accused, but now the guilty. Just so many little things along the way, choices. He chose his legal team. We had no choice. We were just given, whoever was there, because that's how it works. You have the DPP. I had made a statement. I was the only person in our family who made a statement, which made it not able for me to hear many things along the way. We still don't have a forensic report on Pat. We had to surrender Pat's brain to be studied for a couple of months afterwards. We had to bury him separately from his brain. We've still not been able to see that report because I was a potential witness. I was not able to go into the committal hearing because my evidence might be tainted. I had to sit out the front and just wait. Only to be told on the first day of the trial that I was actually not going to be allowed to testify. My evidence was not contentious, and the defence had argued that it would be too emotional for me to testify. So that was agreed.
What about you, Matt? How did you feel it treated you?
Yeah, look, there's one word that I've used a few times about the whole process, and that's brutal. That's what it is. The rights of the victims are, next to non-existent, is how you feel. We've never experienced the law in this fashion, and to walk into, I think we were very naive, is what happened. When the killer was arrested, we just thought, yep, okay, this will see its way through the course, and the OPP reached out to us very early, just through a letter. We had contact details, but we just thought we're not going to need those contact details. But all of a sudden one day, through a meeting with our local member out in Eltham, Vicky Ward, with Martin Pakula, we realised, oh my God, we have no one representing us at all. This is the state versus the killer, not us. Even the brutality of it when you walk into, a bail hearing and you think, well, he's not going to get released. Surely not, because he can only be released on a murder charge from exceptional circumstances.
I noticed the judge made the point in the sentencing. It was unusual he was released on bail when facing a murder charge. What about the nature? There's been a lot of criticism about the plea bargain and the nature of it. Bottom line, 8 years with 5. What's your reaction to that?
Look, the first thing I'd say is about the plea bargain. Yes, technically that's perhaps what happened, but the reason that it happened ultimately is that the law is ineffective. The judge remarks, he says, as stated by the High Court, we need unambiguous legislation so that as a judge he doesn't have to guess effectively what's going on. The way that the law's been structured with the 4 points of sentencing that judges have to use, there's an intention piece there, and it shouldn't be there. At least not the intention to hit the actual victim. And that's why it didn't apply. 2014 this legislation was introduced and it still hasn't been used. And yet everyone we talk to says that, after you watch the footage of what happened, how is it that surely this case must have been the case it should have applied to?
And that would have been a 10-year minimum.
Would have been a 10-year minimum. So let's not talk about 8. Let's talk about 5.
Yeah, fair
because
enough.
Effectively it's a half sentence is what's been handed out. But
it seems that the way you assess it, that's the fault of the law rather than this particular judge or court.
Correct. And
he seemed to say similar, I agree.
And the Director of Public Prosecution as well, had this gone full trial and had, Justice Lasry made his decision based on a guilty verdict from a jury, he wouldn't have used the 10-year minimum anyway because of those the fourth point that couldn't be proven beyond reasonable doubt.
Yeah. Which is intent.
Yeah, he intended to hit Pat. We're not lawyers, but I think we've worked out what the solution is. But I guess that's up to a smarter person than me to say what it should be.
Well, a lot of families of victims say to me, more time would have helped us. Robyn, do you think it would have? Would 10 years have helped you?
100 years probably wouldn't have helped. Because nothing brings us Pat back. Last week so many people were saying, we hope you get you get what you want out of Friday, and it became so clear that we never will. We never will. The only thing in the world we want is Pat back. 8, 10,